Hey guys, Keira here. Welcome back to the Subtl YouTube channel. Today I'm doing something pretty different from the norm, which is doing a matte makeup look. Now, a lot of people are saying that matte makeup is coming back in 2025. People are doing what's called cloud skin, which is kind of like a mix between dewy and matte makeup. But regardless, I know that a lot of people prefer matte makeup, especially if you live somewhere hot or you tend to have more oily skin. You might need to do more of a matte makeup look so that it'll last all day. Same thing if you're, doing an event, you're in a wedding, maybe you just want more glam makeup that's going to just stay put all day and that you don't have to worry as much about the dewiness, like, getting sweaty, melting off, all that. So I tend to really lean toward dewy makeup, but I don't pay too much attention to like how it lasts throughout the day. And I feel like I've been noticing lately that, sometimes by the end of the day, like some of my blush and like I use like a cream bronzer is kind of, gone. So I will be interested to do this makeup look and see how it turns out. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so this is gonna be a little bit more of a full glam makeup look because I'm going to do a foundation. This foundation is pretty dewy. It's the light reflecting foundation from NARS, but my esthetician approves it. It is non-comedogenic, just like all of Subtl's makeup, so it won't clog your pores and make you have more acne. That being said, even though she like approves it, I still feel like when all your skin is covered all day, it can kind of make acne worse. So that's why I normally don't wear a foundation. I just use the Subtl concealer and kind of smooth it all over. But today we're doing a more full glam look. I use this beauty blender. Little goes a long way. I usually leave my nose uncovered because I like my freckles to show through. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more and I'm just trying to kind of cover up these acne scars. I'll use some concealer as well. I have a brand new one. Look how beautiful. This is 4N. Okay, and especially when I have a foundation, I like to really just tap it into the skin. Make sure we're really covering everything. And then for matte makeup, usually the eyelids are also covered. Okay, I think that's good for our base. Now, what I'm gonna do is actually add some shine control powder on now because I'm going to use both a powder bronzer and a powder blush. I don't use the Subtl powder blushes a lot on their own. I love Apricot Avenue, which we're going to use today, but I'm also going to use Blossom Bound. They're very pigmented. They have a really great staying power, but I've always combined them with the cream lip and cheek, so it'll be interesting to do this on its own. Okay, but I'm going to add some shine control powder just to give us a pretty smooth base. I actually have a brand new shine control powder here to open. So satisfying. This is crazy, but Subtl actually with the 2.0 has a powder puff and I don't own it. So I realized today, like, why don't I have that? So I'm gonna be placing an order for that ASAP. But in the meantime, I have these like triangle powder puff things. That's what we're gonna use today, just to kind of give that more mattifying look. So I'm gonna start in the corner here and just kind of mattify everything together. And this really just helps like solidify all the cream products. I also saw a comment recently about someone saying that their eyeshadow was creasing and asking how to fix that, and that's what I would do as a base. I would put some of the Subtl concealer and then use a powder puff with the shine control powder on top of that. Now, using the 4-piece brush set and the big fluffy brush, we're gonna move on to bronzer. And my Subtl stacks have been getting all mixed up lately. My husband took the car and my latte bronzer is in the car. So today we're using Leche, which is fine because I really like both colors. Leche is just a bit lighter than latte, but that's okay because we can just be really liberal with applying it and kind of apply it all over, which is really nice. And I'm really trying to like press it into the skin rather than dragging, especially with the matte. And I like carving out the chin and going down the neck a little, especially in the winter because I've just been so pale. Okay, and then I love pinching the brush like this to add some color to the nose. You could also use the brush in the bottom of the stack for this. It's the perfect shape. And I like kind of taking it up and under here. Now we're moving on to blush. I have not done only powder blush in years. I've always used like the lip and cheek. So this will be interesting to see how I like it. And I think I'm gonna use this little brush from the 4-piece brush set. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the Blossom Bound. Subtl's blushes are very pigmented, so I'm gonna start light here and then I'm gonna kind of fade it into the Apricot Avenue. And with blush, like, do not be afraid to kind of apply it all over. I think that's the beauty of powder blush too. You can kind of wipe off the excess, like up here, do a little more here. And I'm going to add a little to the nose. Oh, that looks cute. I don't know why I don't use this more. Nice shade. Okay, now let's move on to Apricot Avenue. I love this shade. It just like is so pretty. I feel like this is gonna be a very blush heavy look, but that's okay. You don't have to be so confined to like blush, bronzer. Like, you can be a little more creative and put it other places on the face. Especially once you've applied the majority to where you want it, then just kind of get the excess off. Cute. This is like a very sunburned look. Okay, now highlighter. I'm trying to decide if I should add a highlighter or not, considering that this is a matte look, but I feel like you can have a matte base and still do some highlights, so we're gonna add it. I'm gonna go with Golden Gimlet because that just seems to go with the vibe here. I'm just gonna add a little to the cheeks. For the lips, even though my lips are hydrated, I'm gonna make sure there's not like a lip balm on, so I just kind of wiped my lips off, and I'm gonna do a combo of Runway to Rose and Auburn Adventure. Typically when we're looking at like a matte makeup look, a lot of people do that matte, like kind of Kylie Jenner-esque lip where the lip liner is darker and then it fades into a lighter shade. So that's what I'm gonna do here with this brush and just kind of fading it out. Okay, usually when you have a darker lip liner, I like to smudge my lips together. And then I'm gonna go in with Runway to Rose in the middle. And I'm really gonna dab it on to apply. This is so not the lip I'm used to. I just need some eye makeup because it's looking very dramatic. Okay, and then I'm actually gonna add some concealer with my finger to clean up the lips here. And then I'm just kind of not adding any powder, but using this to just press everything in. Okay, next up, we're gonna use the Cruise eyeshadow duo because this is matte. My toddler did get into it, but luckily it survived. So I'm just gonna use this light purple shade as the base, mostly focusing on the outer corner of the eye. A trick I gained from TikTok recently was to make sure when you first apply your eyeshadow brush, you want that to be where you want the color most concentrated, which makes sense, and then blend out from there. So like, I'm not gonna wanna apply it out here if that's where I want it to blend out. I wanna start in the middle, like this, and then kind of blend it out from there. And again, I'm just starting with this light shade and building it. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the darker color and just kind of concentrate that on the outer corner and just build it on top of what I already did. Do you guys have a harder time like blending one eye? I don't know why. Maybe it's the shape, but this eye, like, I always feel like doesn't quite look as good as this one. Yeah, this one like goes down more maybe, but I always feel like I have it so good, and then in photos it just always looks off. I think it might be just like my eye shape, but that's why I take my time in really trying to even them out. And also not just doing my eyeshadow with my eyes closed, but making sure that I finish it off while my eyes are open. I think to finish things off, I'm just gonna take a little bit of the matte shade in Cloud 9. Just gonna swipe it all through here. Okay, now I'm gonna swirl it in the dry brush cleaner and then just take some of this lighter shade from Cloud 9 and apply it to the inner corner. And this just kind of smooths out the matte look, makes everything look nice and smooth. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the medium brown Brow BFF as an eyeliner. Someone suggested that in the last video, and I have done that before. I don't know why, I just kind of forgot about it as an option. Okay, I'm gonna apply this off camera because I need to use two hands. Okay, I just added some liner to my upper and lower. All right, let's add some mascara here. Okay, very pretty. One thing about these stacks, they really do survive everything. Both me and my toddler have dropped them multiple times and I've never had anything break. Okay, next I'm doing Apricot Avenue, applying that all over. One more time. Okay, I feel like this is looking so cute. I don't even know if I need any more powder. One thing too, if you like that like dewy glow from within look, is that you can do like a highlight, but then add the shine control powder on top of it. So see how I have the highlight here? If I add that, like it's still glowy, but it's not as obvious, and it just kind of looks like my skin is glowing from within. And I think that's more of the cloud skin look, where you are using highlighter and dewy products, but then you're like mattifying on top, if that makes sense. So like, this is very pretty, and you still see the glow a little. Okay, and then let me just blot the lips a little. Next, you're gonna wanna fill. So first we fluff, then we fill. Fluff, fill, freeze. That's what the Brow BFF does, and that's what I like to do. So I like to kind of fluff them up and out. I kind of have to fill in this little gap here. And I love this gel because it's very natural and you can't detect it at all. And then you can kind of, if any are sticking out too much, go along and just get them down. And now that the brows are done, here's the final makeup look. I love how this turned out. I think it's really gorgeous. I didn't expect to like it. I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing dewy, glowy makeup for so long that I thought I was gonna dislike this, but I feel like it looks really good. And it has a little bit of glow to it. Like, it doesn't look like my skin is like dead matte makeup like the 2016 makeup. And I really love this lip. It's super clean. I loved how adding the concealer to the outside just made it pop that much more. If you don't own a powder blush from Subtl, this is your sign. Apricot Avenue is my favorite and where I would personally start, but they're all really good. Thanks so much for watching. Comment down below if there's any other tutorials that you would like to see. Let me know, do you do matte or dewy makeup? Which do you prefer? And if you've been doing dewy or glowy makeup, are you gonna try this look? And if you try it, please comment down below, let me know how it went. Also, please subscribe. We post new videos every single Sunday, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.